Today, on the eve of Narendra Modi's address to United Session of Congress and his meet with President in the evening at the royal dinner for which he has been specially invited. Screening of this film, India, the Modi question, along with what is happening to the Sikhs in India, and particularly what happened in Surrey, British Columbia, is a city where Amarjit Singh, President of the Gurdwara Committee, Director of Sikhs for Justice, peace-loving citizen of Canada, against whom there was no court, no case, who has been vilified, declared as a terrorist, 10 lakh rupees, 10 lakh award was on his head. He was killed while coming out of Gurdwara Sahib in the parking lot of the Gurdwara. That tells that what in this film, two-part BBC documentary, and this is very important, that screening of this film today, what this message has. When BBC came out with this film, it was banned in India. Even Modi's government prevailed on Twitter, the new owner of Twitter, Elon Musk, to take it off from, even the link was taken off. And that shows that what kind of system India has today. And as United States Commission on International Religious Freedoms report for 2023 has been discussed before, that for the 4 successive years, India has been declared as a country of particular concern. And in this report, it has been elaborated that how the voice of dissent is being crushed there, how the colonial laws of sedition are used, how internet is shut wherever they want. And interestingly, yesterday, 75 members of Congress and Senate has written a letter to President where they have pointed out that President Biden should bring out the issue of human rights and other freedom of expression. And in this letter, it is mentioned that India, for the last 5 years, is on the top, that country which has banned the use of internet. And what is happening in Punjab, what is happening in Kashmir, and even yesterday, the Archbishop of State of Manipur, which is burning for the last almost 5 weeks, said that close to 300 churches has been burnt in Manipur, and thousands of people of Kuki tribe, which is a Christianity practicing tribe, they have been thrown out of their homes. And remember, in Manipur, there is BJP government. And whenever they asked for votes there, they always talked about the government of double engine. One engine is in Delhi, Modi's government, and other in Manipur. And what they have done in Manipur, they did it in Kashmir, when on August 5th, 2019, Article 370 and 35A was done away with, which was in the basic draft of Indian Constitution. And what is happening there? Even Muslim girls are not allowed to wear hijab in the city of Srinagar, which state is a Muslim majority state. And about Punjab, we know very clearly, we have been repeating it, and hundreds of thousands of Sikhs, over 150,000 Sikhs has been killed in the last 4 decades in the false, fabricated cases, fake staged encounters. And as we were watching this movie, and this is very important that this has been screened on the eve when Modi is to address the houses here, as it has been banned in India, and Ankita Bhatt, who is the daughter of Sanjeev Bhatt, who has been imprisoned for life. She was one of the panelists when Modi visited a couple of weeks ago in Australia, and in the Australian Senate as well. This film was pre-screened, and there the Ankita Bhatt was in the panel, and she said, "Thou, my father, stood for the values of truth and justice, but how come the world is not listening to what is happening to our people and how we are suffering there?" So the message, by screening of this film, by discussing the USF report today, is very clear. Peace-loving Sikhs, over 1 million Sikhs live in the United States of America. We are afraid that these dirty tactics of the fascist organization RSS, now the NIA, National Investigative Agency, whose head is Dinkar Gupta, who was one time the DGP of Punjab Police and who has opposed the opening of Kartarpur corridor by saying that anybody going in the morning will come back in the evening becoming a terrorist, and Ajit Doval, who is the National Security Advisor having a cabinet rank status. And we are seeing that the team of them came to UK, and what happened there with the Avtar Singh Khanda. And now when they have started talking about crushing the voice of the Sikhs outside, we are afraid, and that is the message through which, while being together in this room, and I am glad that Sikh representatives from all over East Coast have gathered here, and the message is very clear. United States of America is our home. It is a great country. The founding fathers of this country gave us those rights of freely expressing ourselves, our voices, liberty, justice, truth. The very values on which America is founded are the very basic values of Sikhism. When Guru Nanak Sahib, founder of Sikhism, he raised his voice in the city of Ahmedabad while Babur had invaded India in 1526, and he said that if two powerful duel, je sakta sakte ko mare, ta man rosh na hoy. If two powerful duel, one is defeated, no regrets, no complaints, but sakta siho mare pe vagge, karta sa par soy. If the ruler becomes like a lion and jumps on the helpless people, then the honor of the herd has to be held accountable, answerable. So our message, our struggle of 35 million Sikh nation as Sikhs for justice stands for that right, which is the right of self-determination given in the UN Charter of Human Rights. And that very right, which is very peaceful under the ambit of the international law, and how they tarnished the image of Sikh for justice, termed it as a terrorist organization, brought up false cases against Gurpatwant Singh Pannu, Harjit Singh Nijjar, and so many others, and even their voice, which is the voice which is well within the ambit of UN Charter. And I should quote, and I'll quote the preamble of UN Charter of Human Rights, that if a man is not to be compelled as a last resort to rebellion, his human rights must be protected by the rule of the law. The right of self-determination is the basic right, and as in the report which has been released here today, it is mentioned that in India itself, it may be Junagadh, it may be Hyderabad, it may be other places, where they allowed this referendum to decide that what people want. And India, which has not ratified the treaty against torture, the India which has denied this right of self-determination, and what is happening to those people who are asking there, even peacefully for their right, we see that how Bhai Amritpal Singh and 9 others, 10 Sikhs from Punjab, have been thrown 3,000 kilometers away in Dibrugarh under that seditious law, under National Security Act. And what is their crime? They asked for the right of the Sikhs. They asked for their right to practice their religion freely, and the right which is enshrined in the Sikh faith, where we believe that fear none, scare none. Pੈ kahu ko det ne, ne pੈ manat an. That is the message we are giving here. And I want to thank you all that in spite of bad weather, on a very short notice, you have come here. This is a historic moment. This is a historical event, as when all those who close their eyes or ears to listen to anything, any voice of courage which stands and says, no, you are wrong. That is what is being done from this room. This is a very prestigious building, Cannon building, and these three buildings, Rayburn, Longfellow, and Cannon building, these are actually the centers of democracy. This Capitol Hill is the hope of our America. We are proud to be American citizens, and we believe that ultimately, as has been requested to President Biden, these issues should be brought up, and ultimately America and United Nations should prevail upon the government of India to give the basic right of self-determination, right of referendum to the Sikhs of Punjab, to the Muslims in Kashmir, to the Nagas in Nagaland, and now what the Cookies in the Manipur also demanding, that we can't live within this ambit. I once again thank you all on behalf of Sikhs for Justice, on behalf of Council for Khalistan, for being here. Thank you very much.